Nice to see all of you, and I am grateful you are joining me. We are in my new yoga spot, which is Nicasio Creek, I will call it. And behind me is Nicasio Creek, which I can hear. I'm not sure that any of you can hear, but it's wonderfully soothing and relaxing. And that's why I picked this spot. It's also in the beautiful shade, which is lovely for me. The other thing I discovered this week while my sister-in-law was visiting is actually all around me is a field of St. John's wort. So for those of you who know, St. John's wort is something that helps with depression and anxiety. And so I love that I'm surrounded not only by a creek to help my nervous system, but all kinds of medicinal yellow flowers, as it turns out. So I will have you just envision that in your head. So as we begin today, I like to have a theme as usual, and today's theme is going to be settling into trust and belief. And that theme for many of us who are trained in medicine is an important one because we struggle with trust and belief, and we spend a lot of time worrying and being anxious and thinking about the worst case scenario and what could go wrong. And so this class is an invitation to settle back into your body, to trust yourself, and to tap into those intuition feelings, the ones that help you know things will turn out okay in the end. Even if they haven't turned out okay yet, they will turn out okay in the end. And that we have within us this strength and power and groundedness to find our way and figure it out. So much of that comes from your root chakra, which is the base of your spine. And so as we begin, find your root, find the tip of your sacrum, connecting it into the earth beneath you. Connect your ischial spines into the earth beneath you. And take a moment to notice the groundedness and the stability underneath you, which we don't take for granted in California. Sometimes the earth is not stable beneath us, but in this moment, it's stable. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward and stack your spine, align it all the way up through the crown of your head. And take a big, deep breath in. Exhale, drop your shoulders and flip your palms open to the sky, to the trees, to the birds, to the space around you. Palms open to possibility, to belief, and to this trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust in the process. Come back to the breath, breathing in this sense of peace and trust and calm. And on the exhale, letting some of that stress, anxiety, worry, and need to control go. Breathing in and out. Reconnect to your root here. Notice that stability underneath you. Notice your groundedness. Notice your belly and your strength. And once again, align your spine. Notice when you're in alignment, the ease that comes. Take in another big breath. Exhale, drop your shoulders and relax in. Relax into trust and belief that in the end, things will work out however they're meant to. Even if in this moment, you're not sure how or why. Or maybe they're working out great in this moment and you are worrying that the shoe will drop. Allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop and check into your heart space underneath. Noticing what it knows, connecting with your intuition, with your wishes, wants, desires, wisdom. Notice what you can connect with, even if it's simply the fact that you have a heart in there and you haven't connected with it in a while. Breathe in through your nose and notice chest rise, hands rise. Exhale, notice and fall and settle. And enjoy for a moment. Notice how you feel. And connecting with your inner wisdom and your inner strength. Taking a moment to acknowledge how far it's gotten you so far. It makes pretty good decisions. It's, for the most part, reliable and trustworthy. And noticing how safe you are in this moment. And the trust that you do have already. Settling into that trust and that sense of safety and wisdom, and using your own inner wisdom, inner heart sense as a guide, making heart-centered decisions. What if your heart is trustworthy? And just taking a moment to sit in the bath of this moment of a bit of peace, a bit of calm, perhaps in the midst of all of the things. I don't know if you can hear, I can hear this beautiful creek, and I can hear a chainsaw in the distance. And so the invitation for me is to relax into both. It's very interesting. They start at 9 o'clock. They must have a rule. So we might have to move yoga to 8. Anyway, in the future, but in the moment, I can relax and focus my attention on the creek and on the birds. Noticing the chest rise and fall, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And letting yourself enjoy a moment of settled, a moment of trusting, a moment of safety. And taking a moment to press your hands into that heart space, releasing the oxytocin, letting it circulate around, embracing it and welcoming it into all the nooks and crannies. And I like to envision the cortisol in your saliva melting as you do this. Studies show that top hand on the bottom hand decreases cortisol circulating, and enjoying that for a moment as well. When you feel complete, lower your hands and open your eyes if they were closed, and take a moment to come back into your space. Gift yourself time to transition. Find your belly and find your root. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Right thumb and middle finger grab the left wrist and grow tall as you can, as if you were a tree, rooting your trunk into the earth, branches reaching towards the sky. Huge breath in. Exhale, tip gently to the right. Lengthen your entire left side body gently. Huge breath in and out. Inhale back to center. Switch your hands. Left thumb and middle finger grab right wrist. Grow tall. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach and grow. Root to leaves. Exhale, tip gently to the left and enjoy every nook and cranny of the right side body. Bathing every nook and cranny with the breath, with some ease, with some space, with that sense of calm and belief. Big breath in and out. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Unclasp your hands, opening your arms out to the sides. Wrap yourself in a big hug, arms in front. Fingers come to the mid scapula to the best of your ability. Lift elbows up a wee bit and squeeze as tight as you can. Gifting yourself a hug. We always wait for someone else, but we can gift it to ourselves. Squeeze tight, tight, tight. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, squeeze tighter, round forward, release your back, your head and neck. And enjoy any stretch, any release. Let yourself soften in. Appreciating and acknowledging how far you've come, how trustworthy you are, all the things you've believed in that have actually happened and come to fruition. Inhale, rise up, untangle, press your arms into the side wall or to the trees. Flex wrists, spread fingers as wide as you can, and notice the energy shift. Relax the fingers. Drop your fingers to the earth. Reach the fingers to the sky. Squeeze fists tight, tight, tight. Notice your arms beginning to warm. Spread your fingers out like you're flicking water or sparks, like a sparkler perhaps. Squeeze hand, flick fingers. We'll do that about 5 times, warming up, inviting the heat and the energy and the movement. Pause. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction, likely left elbow under right. Give yourself another huge hug. Fingers come to the midline of the scapula to the best of your ability. Lift elbows up over your chest without judgment. Huge breath in, grow tall, root to crown. Exhale, round forward, drop your head and neck and enjoy. Squeeze tight. Enjoy that oxytocin released when you give yourself a hug. Inhale, rise up, untangle, stretch your arms wide, 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 and lower them to your sacrum. Clasp your hands behind your sacrum, shoot your fists to the floor, drop shoulders, drop chin to chest, and enjoy that neck. Inhale, gaze up at the sky. Exhale, back to center. Press hands to the floor. Big breath in and out. Exhale, release. Release hands and fingers. Let it go. And take out whatever you are sitting on and spread your legs, stretch your legs long in front. Bang out your knees, move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Flex your ankles towards you, toes spread wide, and enjoy the energy that comes in with a simple toe stretch. Spread fingers wide, plant them behind you, press your fingers into the earth, sit up tall. Pelvis rolls forward, crown of the head reaches forward, your chest stretches forward, shoulders down and back into Dandasana, staff pose. Lots of strength, toes engaged, heels likely lift off, awakening everything. Huge breath into that heart space. Let your heart shine forward. Letting your heart be seen and trusted. Relax everything. Reach arms up towards the sky. Exhale, round forward towards your toes. Relax head and neck. And enjoy a wee release. Slide up to your knees, to your thighs. You'll sweep your knees around, and we are going to come to stand. If you have blocks, have them in front of you so you can reach them. Standing tall, start by lifting all 10 toes, spread them wide, 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 and lower them down. Root them into the earth and notice the 4 corners of your feet, the 2 and the 4 foot, 2 and the heel, connecting downward, the soles of the feet on the earth. And notice the strength and groundedness there. Draw up the earth's energy all the way into your pelvis, your belly, up into your heart space, into your chest. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Steeple the index fingers, interlace your other fingers, and grow as tall as you can. Have a light shimmy. Huge breath in, grow tall, tall, tall. Perhaps lift up onto your tippy toes and lower your heels down. Root downward. Inhale, fingers reach to the sky. Exhale, tip left gently, coming into crescent moon, half moon. We're going to do a modified version of a moon salutation because it's the full moon this week. Inhale into your entire left side body here. Exhale, stretch long, grow tall, using your belly to protect your back. Inhale towards the sky. Exhale, tilt towards the right. Left side body fully engaged, protecting your back. Huge breath in. Point those pointer fingers towards the right. Enjoy every smidge of the left side body. Come back to center. Open arms out. Step your feet wide, coming into a 5-point star. And make it feel okay. Spread fingers wide, wide, wide. Lift up all 10 toes, root them downward, stretching that star as wide as you can. Bring hands to your hips. Turn your left toes to the left. Pigeon toe the back foot, coming into Trikonasana or triangle. You'll grab a block from the front, place the block on the inner side of that left foot, left hand on the block, right arm reaches to the sky. Gaze up. If it's okay for your neck, if it's not okay for your neck, gaze down. Do what works for you. Roll your heart open to the sky, stretch your fingers wide to the sky. Bring right hand into the left hip crease. Roll the right shoulder open and gaze upward once again. Enjoying it. 3 big breaths. You can stay here or with your arm up to the sky, or if you want to come into half moon, bring your right hand to the right hip crease, grab the block, bend your left knee, hop your block forward about 2 feet directly under your shoulder, and you'll raise your right leg up, coming into a balanced pose. If it works for you, you can raise your right hand. And if this doesn't work for you, leave the foot on the ground. Just do what works for you. Play with it and enjoy that half moon. If you happen to be outside, balance is trickier, so no judgment. And some days balance is trickier than others. Bring your hand back to your hip, lower your foot, bring the block back, coming back to triangle pose. Grab your other block if you have one. And if you don't have one, you can do this without the block. You're going to bring both blocks to the front of the mat on the left side, on either side of the left toes. Hop your right foot around, lower your right knee, and come into low lunge or Anjaneyasana. You will slide your back knee back. You may need a blanket to protect that knee. And rise up into low lunge. And take a moment here to settle in. The blocks actually allow more opening. They are a sense of safety. They are a sense of support. And reminding ourselves that support actually makes hard things easier. And why not utilize it? We often think that hard things are better, and if they're hard, we should push through. But using blocks allows you more space, allows you more room. And notice if you want to be up on your fists or on your palms. Take good care of your wrists here. Close eyes if you feel that you can. If you don't have blocks, hands lightly on the left thigh would be my recommendation. And if you do yoga with me regularly, I recommend you get blocks. Doesn't matter which ones. Big breath into the chest, sending it down into that right hip flexor. Our hip flexors carry a lot of the doubt and the worry and the stress. And envision it melting just a tiny bit. Invite it to soften. You don't have to let it all go. Settling into it, softening into it. Big breath in and out. And with eyes closed, if that works for you, pour the breath in 3 times, all the way down from your nose through your right toe. And breathe it out same way, up to your knee, to your hip, to your belly, to your chest, and out your throat and nose or mouth. Inhale, drawing it all the way to the right toe. And exhale from the right toe all the way out your nose. One more. This is a version of pranayama. A lot of people think the breathing stuff is hard. It doesn't have to be. Visualizing the breath moving through. And when you're done, notice how it feels. Notice what feels different. If you have blocks, walk the blocks backwards, straight your left leg, reach your left toes to the sky, coming into a half splits. Hinge at the waist, bend elbows to whatever degree works for you. Point the toe and flex the ankle towards the sky. Point your toes, enjoy your shin. Flex your ankle towards the sky. Inhale, grow tall. Back is flat. Exhale, bend elbows, hinge forward a wee bit more. And pause and enjoy, welcoming some softening. Lots of gripping in the hamstrings and the back of the legs, inviting them to soften. knowing it will be okay in the end. Walking hands forward. Bend your front knee. Straight your back knee, curl toes, lift up into pyramid pose. You'll walk your blocks forward and you'll enjoy a really nice stretch in the back calf. It's a long pyramid. Do what works for you. You may need to hop that back leg outward a little bit more. Enjoy the back of the left leg. Breathe. And you can fold forward if that works for you, or stay up with a flat back. Do what feels really good. Lift up the front 5 toes, root them downward. Lift up back heel. Lower it downward. Big breath in and a huge exhale, a moment to enjoy. Notice the soles of your feet on the earth. Notice what's good in this moment. Bend the front knee. Twist the blocks towards the front. Lower your right heel to the floor and your right toes will lift up. You're going to come to face the front and you will enjoy a stretch in that right inner thigh. I am using a lot of blocks today, and you can hold yourself upright with the blocks. If you don't have blocks, then you'll be a lot lower down like this. Do what works for you. Flex right toes to the sky, spread them wide. Enjoy. And if you have the capacity, let your heart shine forward. Don't let yourself get all folded and crumpled. Growing tall and inviting softening into the right leg. Wiggle your toes. You will begin to lean into the blocks, straight your left leg, straight your right leg, walk the blocks to the center. Back is flat, hinged at the waist. If you don't have blocks, your back will be flat, hands will be on. And pause here. Take a moment to enjoy. If you have the blocks, you can build a little tower and put your forehead on the block. The third eye into the blocks is a grounding practice. And allow yourself to come to stillness here. If you don't have the blocks, you can hang your head down. You can walk your hands behind you between your legs. Do what feels good. We're going to pause for 3 long, deep breaths here. Third eye into the blocks. Inviting the inner thighs to soften a wee bit. Do what works for your body. If you have high blood pressure, you can use the blocks and keep your back flat and still enjoy much of the same release. Slowly rise up onto the blocks so your back is flat. If you were head down in a D inversion. Bend your right knee, walk your blocks over to the right side and support yourself there. Straight. Left leg, left ankle is flexed. Toes to the sky, spread your toes. And pause here to enjoy for a moment. It does feel really, really good. Notice what feels good in your body, what's working in your life. And connecting once again with this idea of trust and belief. What if you trusted yourself? What if you believed that dreams could come true, that things would work out, that despite bumpy transitions, that in the end, all will be well. Might not look like you thought it would, but it will be well. What might you try if that were the case? Where are you making decisions from fear rather than trust and belief in yourself? And who better to trust than yourself? We always think someone else has the answer. Slowly point the left toes, bring the blocks in front, and you'll straight your right leg, turn towards the right toes. Right toes will come to the front or back of your mat, whichever way you're facing. And you'll come into pyramid pose here. Using the blocks if you have them, hands on thighs if you don't. Don't put your hands over your knee. Be kind. Huge breath in here. Pour it into the hamstring in the back of the leg. 3 big breaths. Let yourself really enjoy it. Pause to enjoy. And as you're here, notice your heart space, how it feels, what it might need. Placing palms on the blocks, if you have them, bend your front knee, lower down into Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Find a good spot for your blocks to support you. Be really kind to the back knee. And lift upright, heart shines forward. And gaze at the view, whatever it might be. And focus your attention on something beautiful. Something beautiful in the room, in the nature around you, perhaps a sound or something beautiful in your life. Giving yourself a reason to trust and believe lots of beautiful things out there happening all the time. Let yourself enjoy it. Let the breath pour into the left hip flexor. And if it's tight, send it some kindness and support, softening. Big breath in and out. When you feel complete, straight your right leg coming into a half split. Walk the blocks back towards you. Hinge at the waist and enjoy the right leg. Point toes and flex toes. It's different than when you had your knee bent and were facing forward. Inviting the breath and movement and kindness into every nook and cranny of that right leg. And be kind to your chest. You can fold forward, you can stay upright. Do what feels best to you. Allowing yourself to slow down. For many of you, slow is hard. Allowing that discomfort of slow to be fine. Believe that it will help, that you will feel good, that you'll get used to it. Walk the blocks forward. You'll uncurl your back toe, straight your back knee, drop your heel, bring the block to the inside of the right foot. Come into Trikonasana or triangle pose here. And enjoy. You'll roll the left chest open, reach your left hand to the sky, and take a moment here to find the soles of your feet, your toes, find your stability, your rootedness. Three big breaths. Pause and breathe. Notice the sounds, notice the beauty around you. Noticing how you can trust yourself, all the amazing things that have turned out well, all the things you believed in as a kid or wanted in your life at some point that have happened and come to fruition. Left hand comes into the right hip crease. Roll your shoulder open, gaze upward. Enjoy it. Big breaths pouring in. If you wish to join me for half moon, you'll reach your left hand to the sky, bend your right knee, hop the back foot forward, bring the block forward about 2 feet and rise upward. Hand to hip also makes it feel a little more steady. Do what works for you. You can also use a couch arm that can help, a bed if that happens to be what's nearby. Do what works best for your body and let yourself enjoy it, wiggles and wobbles and all. They're part of the experience. Bring hand back to hip. If you're in half moon, lower your back foot. Come back to Trikonasana for a moment. Pause, reset. Engage your waist and slowly move the block out of the way while you're down there. Slowly rise up. Bring hands to hips. Turn toes to second position. Squat into goddess pose. Readjust your feet as needed. And bend into it. Squatting down. Sending your root chakra downward. Bring hands to hips. Lift up all 10 toes. Root them into the earth one at a time. Huge breath in. Notice if you can close your eyes here. Raise your right heel and lower it. Raise left heel and lower it. And open eyes if they're closed. Sink downward. Your thighs will likely wake up. See if you can lift both heels for fun. And lower down. Reach your arms up into a cactus. Lower elbows to your waist. Shoot them upward. Once again, lower them into your waist. Shoot them upward. Straight your knees. Come back to star. Huge 5-point star. Open arms. Bring them back to your waist. Heel, toe, your feet back to center. And take a moment to land in Shavasana. Lifting up all 10 toes, rooting them downward. Draw up the earth's energy into your belly. Grow your spine towards the sky. Open palms to the front. Mountain pose. Once again, connecting to this idea of settling into trust and belief. Trusting your body, knowing your body. Open eyes if they're closed. Roll your wrists. Release them in all directions. Pinch shoulders up to your ears. Drop your occiput deep into them. Have a massage. Exhale, release, palms open to the front. Take a moment to enjoy. Hand to heart, other hand to top. Checking in with your inner wisdom. Lower hands, open eyes. Bending down, coming to yogi squat. Do it in a way that works for you. You may be on a block. You may be off a block. Your heels may be on a blanket. We're all different, and our anatomy is different. Bring hands to heart center wherever you are when you arrive. And take a moment upright. Reaching arms to the sky in the yogi squat. There'll be a lot of wobbles here, potentially. Hands back to heart center when you're ready. Lower hands to the earth. Right hand or fist will land on the earth. Twist to the left, gaze up. Coming back to center, hands to heart center. Left hand, palm, fist. Reach right arm to the sky and gaze upward at your palm. Notice if there's any beauty up there. Coming back to center. Pause here. Sending your root downward. Elbows coming into the knees. Lower hands. Square your heels and release into a forward fold. If you want to use your blocks, feel free. Your back can be flat or you can be folded over. Taking a moment to enjoy the lower back release. Big breath in and out. If you wish to clasp your hands at your sacrum and let them fall forward, enjoy that release, shaking your head. Bring hands to sacrum. Run them down the backs of your legs. Engage your belly and rise up. Arms will open out and up towards the sky. Slight arch back. Drip hands to heart center and pause. Notice how you feel. Take a moment here to check in and let yourself feel amazing. We're going to do a dancer pose because dancer pose involves trust and belief that you won't fall for most of us. Finding your left sole of your foot, lifting up all 5 toes. And if you need to lean against something, fence, either way, feel free. You're going to root your left foot into the earth, spread your 5 toes, lower them down. Root that left leg downward, raise your right knee up to hip height and pause here. Find your balance and your steadiness. Some of you can stay here. This can be your dancer pose. If you wish to keep going, you'll bring your right hand down the right thigh, sliding it over the right shin, bring your right heel to your rear end. If it works for you, you can slide your hand to the inside of the right arch. Find your balance here, moving slowly. There's no rush. Raise left hand to the sky. Pause here. This might be your dancer pose. Big breath in and out. Find your stillness. If you wish to tip forward, feel free. Bend that front knee. Give yourself plenty of room. You can also hold on to something and let that be your dancer pose. Do what feels best to you, and the hand hold on your foot also do what feels best to you. We're all different, and on different days, things feel different. Be kind to yourself. Bend the left knee to give yourself some give here. Don't hold it too tight. Notice when you soften in, it helps with the balance. And slowly rise upright. Raise left hand to the sky. Lower it down, lower the right foot and shake it out. Being kind to everything that was holding tight there. Taking 3 breaths in between. We're always in a hurry. Let's get the other side done. Today we're taking our time. Huge breath in and out. Root right foot downward. Lifting up all 5 toes, lower them down. Bring left knee to hip height and pause. This might be your dancer. You can roll that left ankle out another moment here if it's still letting you know about that last dancer. Slide left hand over the front of the left thigh, down the left shin, bring heel to your rear end. This might be amazing for you. Enjoy the front of the left thigh. Reach right arm to the sky, wiggling the fingers as high as you can. And if you wish, tip forward. And notice if softness in the knee helps you or not, and choose whatever works for you. Breathe, enjoy. When you are ready, you can bring hand hip or to the sky. Notice what gives you more steadiness. Lowering down, shaking it out. Take your time and enjoy it as long as works for you. Roll your shoulders back 3 times and forward 3 times. And we're going to come down into either a seated double pigeon or actual pigeon, whatever feels good to you. I'm going to demo actual pigeon, and you can use your blocks. You can come to hands and knees with your hands on the blocks. Bring right foot forward. Right foot will come to the left side of the mat. Right knee will come to the right side of the mat, and you'll slide your left knee backwards. If pigeon never works for you in any shape, then do a figure 4 on your back. And you can use the blocks to stay upright. You can use the blocks to lower down. You can use no blocks. Spending a minute or so here to release that right hip. If pigeon doesn't work, or you, Come into a seated double pigeon, and you can cross your knees, close them a little bit closer than cross-legged. Grab the right ankle and place it atop the left knee. That might feel amazing for you. Or do figure 4 on your back. Any of them are amazing. We'll be here for 5 more breaths, whichever pose you picked. Inviting softening in that right hip. The hip is a spot we hold a ton of tension and tightness and hypervigilance. Inviting it to soften. Allowing yourself to settle into this trust and belief without holding everything so tight, without having to control everything. Might you be able to let some of it go? Soften it, settle into it. Notice which of those words feels better to you in your body. Noticing your somatic body response to the word, and choose a word that feels good. I'm practicing settling into trust. I'm practicing softening how tightly I hold things. I'm practicing believing. Notice what feels good and choose a phrase that feels good. Last breath on this side in whatever pose you're in. And we'll slowly untangle. If you are in the traditional pigeon, hands to knees, come up into downward dog here in between and release your hips. You're doing seated pigeon, spread your legs long in front and do a forward fold, or do a downward dog. Have a lovely stretch in between, perhaps really swaying your hips, lower forehead to the floor. Enjoy it. We haven't been in downward dog today. It's not a great pose when you are recovering from an illness, so I'm avoiding it for the most part. And when you're ready, come back to hands and knees and come to pigeon on the other side. Left knee will be on the left side, left toes will be on the right side of the mat, and you'll stretch that right leg long behind, untuck your toes, and set yourself up. Or you can do seated double pigeon, or you can do figure 4 on this side. Let it be amazing. We'll be here for 5 more long breaths. No rush. If your breaths are shorter, it might be more than 5. See if you can lengthen them. See if your exhale can be longer than your inhale. Notice how you feel when that exhale is longer than the inhale. Last breath here on this side. And you'll slowly untangle wherever you are and stretch yourself out in between. If it's a down dog, do that. If it's a forward fold, do that. Coming back to hands and knees, and stretch your legs long in front wherever you are. Bend your right knee and bring right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. Take a moment to move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward and align your spine towards the sky. Inhale your arms out and up
Twist towards that left foot. Exhale, fold forward towards the outer edge of the left foot. Drop head and neck and enjoy the right rib cage open and the twist. Breathe into your entire right side body here. 3 breaths. Taking time. If you have a block and you want more stretch, you can put it right over the bottom of your foot and reach for it. Kind of fun. Slowly slide up the left leg. Bring your right hand behind you. Place right palm on the earth. Coming into Wild Thing, left toes will come to the right. Shift onto the right knee. Lift up and stretch and enjoy. Wiggle fingers. Roll your wrist. Lower down. Coming back to both legs extended. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Draw the left sole of the foot into the right inner thigh. Move that flesh of the seat. Inhale your arms up. Use your belly. Twist to the right and fold forward towards the right outer edge of the foot. Your left side body should feel wide open. You'll enjoy a twist. You can wrap your right hand into the left hip crease if you have more room. And pause and enjoy. 3 deep breaths. Untangle your right hand. Slide up the right thigh, shin. Left hand comes behind you. Come into Wild Thing on this side and have a stretch. Enjoy the view. Roll your wrist. Come back to legs in front. Untangle your feet. Move the flesh of your seat. Move your blocks out of the way. If you want to keep one nearby for supported bridge, you can do that. And we will lower ourselves down, rolling downward, legs in front, ankles flexed, arms reach out long, and slowly unroll your spine like pearls on a string until you land on the earth. Take a moment to arrive, to notice how you feel. Big breaths. Let it feel good. Bend knees, walk your heels towards your rear end. Palms will be on the floor. You'll lift up your hips into an easy bridge to begin. Shimmy your shoulders underneath. Knees energetically connect. Hips rise to the sky. Lifting up as high as you can. Huge breath in. Perhaps lift up onto your tippy toes. Reaching hips to the sky and notice what's happening up there. Lower heels down. Slowly untuck shoulders. Roll your rear end to the floor. And pause. If you have a block, we'll come into a supported bridge next, or you could do a second active bridge, you choose. You'll press into your feet, lift up your hips, and slide the block right under your sacrum. And pause here for a moment. Letting the blood flow drain back into your heart and into your head. If you're up in a active bridge, enjoy just as we did before. If you're here in a supported bridge, notice those hip flexors. Soften. You may wish to bring your arms over your head into an easy cactus if you're doing a supported bridge. And take a moment to enjoy your body, how it feels, all the things. If you are in a supported bridge and you would like to bring your feet up to the sky, bend one knee, bend the other knee. Knees are at 90 degrees, shins facing the sky. And one at a time, raise your feet to the sky. Coming into an inversion here. with your sacrum flat on the block. Your block should be on the medium or lowest setting. And enjoy that blood flow returning. Point toes and flex your ankles. Bend one knee and then the other, and lower your feet one at a time. Pause here. Slowly bring your hands back by your side if they're in the cactus shape. Lift up hips, slide the block out. And if you're in the active bridge, I hope you're resting by now. Bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. Soles of the feet together. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining butterfly. Take a moment here. Notice how you feel. Bring hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Draw your knees together. Draw your heels a wee bit closer to you. Lift up your hips. Bring them about 6 inches to the left. Draw knees into your chest. Allow the knees to fall to the right. Stack your hips if they didn't land as you would like. Reach left hand to cactus shape to a T, coming into a lovely twist. Enjoy whatever view you have. Enjoy the left pecs and the left chest. If you have more room, you can gaze to the left. More is not better. Do what feels best to your body. Invite some softening into that left chest. Notice all that you hold there. Might settling into trust and belief allow you to hold a little bit less. And maybe not full belief, but more trust and more belief. Doesn't have to be all or none. Gently release right hand. Bring your knees back to center. Reorganize your sacrum. Take a moment, bring both hands by your side. Settle back into the earth beneath. Pick up your hips, bring them 6 inches to the right. Draw knees in towards you. Allow your hips to fall to the left. Restack your hips if need be. Left hand can come onto right thighs, and right arm extends out to a T or a cactus shape, whatever feels good. And gaze to the right if you have more room. Enjoy it. Bring your gaze back to center. Release your left hand. Slowly bring knees back to center. Reorganize for a moment. Hug knees into your chest and have a rock side to side. Massage your sacrum. Release anything that needs releasing. If a happy baby would feel good, enjoy that. You can straighten your legs one at a time together. Notice what feels good. When you feel complete, settle into Shavasana. Extend legs long. Let your toes fall to either side of the mat. Palms open, if that's okay for you. You can grab a blanket or socks if you need them. And allow yourself a moment to fully settle into trust and belief. A few moments resting, surrendering on the earth, fully trusting in the earth to hold you,
in all to be well, it's a practice. Allowing yourself to let go of control and judgment and planning and settle into rest, restoring, repleting. Taking a huge deep breath and a huge exhale. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. If you're ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. Reaching arms long above and toes long in front, taking a huge inhale, stretching from end to end. Exhale, release and soften. Hug your knees into your chest as if you're giving them a hug, and roll to one side and pause there for a moment. Pause and connect with this trust and belief. Since the time you were a tiny baby in this fetal position, things have turned out pretty much okay. Remembering that. Pressing into your hands and slowly rise up to a comfortable seat. Reconnect sacrum into the earth. Root downward, grow tall through the crown of your head. Stack your spine, align it with kindness. Bring hands to knees, palms open. And take a moment to settle. Once again, connecting to this idea of all the things in the world that we can trust in. The humans we can trust. You trust the sun comes up day after day. The sun sets day after day. Most of the time, our basic needs are met. What else can you trust in? What people can you trust? Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Connecting with your heart space and its desires. And connect with this idea of belief. That those things might happen. Might turn out well. Might not, but it just as well might. Why not believe? Why not trust in the process, in those you love? Trusting yourself to take good care of yourself along the way. Believing that you will, that you can, and that it's all figure outable. Noticing how good it feels to settle into trust and belief. Taking in a big inhale and a huge exhale. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today.